It was a rainy morning. Daniel left his room early to walk to the plaza where he worked as a cleaner. The road was wet and puddles formed everywhere. He hurried under the rain as he didn't have an umbrella, hoping to reach work on time. As he stepped off a curb, a slick black SUV came speeding through the rising water. It hit a large puddle just where Daniel was walking. The driver didn't slow down. Water splashed all over him. His shoes, his trousers, his shirt, soaked him completely. He staggered. Inside the SUV sat 3 men Daniel knew from college. They weren't friends then, but they recognized him now. Their faces flashed with amusement. One of them rolled down the window and laughed. "Danny boy, after carrying school on your head you're working as a cleaner. It seems like you're late to success." They all laughed hysterically as the window rolled back up and the SUV zoomed off, tires kicking up more splashes behind. Daniel stood there, dirty, dripping and embarrassed. He wiped his face, tucked in his waterlogged shirt, and kept walking. His clothes were heavy. He arrived at the plaza 10 minutes late. His boss was waiting by the entrance. Daniel tried to plead. "Sorry, sir. It was pouring and—" His boss didn't want to hear excuses. "We have standards here. If you can't come on time, we don't need you." Before he could say more, Daniel was told to leave and never return. He left with his head down, the rain still falling. He didn't bother asking for pay because he hadn't even been working there for up to a month. He just walked home, wet all over. For the first time, he felt very miserable, like he wanted to give up on life, but something in him told him to keep pushing. Things will be better one day. Daniel spent 2 days looking for work. He couldn't return to cleaning. Nobody would hire him now. He ate once a day, only when he had some money. On the 3rd day, he found a job at a petrol station on the edge of town. It didn't pay much, but at least it paid. He started the next morning. On his first day there, he saw the same SUV from the other morning parked by the pumps. His heart pounded. He recognized the men inside. They were the same YAHOO boys. They walked out in their baggy, flashy clothes, looking around, acting like they owned the place. Daniel saw them pause near a pump and laugh. They noticed him behind the counter, too ashamed to speak. One of them sneered, "Hey, isn't this Daniel the poor guy? From cleaner to fuel seller, you be big man oh." The 3 men laughed and walked away. Daniel didn't flinch. He continued his work. That night, he closed the station and headed home in the rain. He was exhausted. He reached home, changed into fresh clothes, and slept without eating much. The next day, around closing time, a black Prado pulled in at the fuel station. The driver was a calm, corporately dressed middle-aged man. The man stepped out and walked over. Daniel greeted him politely and began to fill his tank. He then noticed the man struggling with his phone. He kept tapping the screen, frowning. He watched as the man grew frustrated. Without thinking, Daniel spoke up. "Sir, I don't want to assume, but it seems you're switching too many things. If it's numbers and planning, I'm really good at that. Maybe I can help? I used to help my uncle with stock inventory when I used to live with him many years ago." The man looked up. "You're good with numbers?" Daniel nodded. "Yes, sir. Logistics, simple records, anything that needs structure. I'm familiar with it." The man paused and looked at him for some time with intrigue. Then he handed Daniel the phone. "Okay, show me." Daniel opened the files, organized the numbers properly, corrected some entries and balanced the figures. The man watched, silent. When he finished, the man collected the phone and reviewed it. "You're sharp," he said. "What's your name?" "Daniel." "Daniel. Why don't you come by my office tomorrow morning? Let's talk about this skill of yours." He handed Daniel a card. Peter Allen, Allen Logistics. That night Daniel didn't sleep. He stared at the card. It read, Peter Allen, Allen Logistics. He arrived at Allen's office early the next morning. A tall building in town. He wore a clean shirt and pressed pants he had borrowed. Inside, he met Mr. Allen. Allen tested him, asked about computers, logistics, spreadsheets. Daniel answered well. Mr. Allen offered him a 3-month contract, paid training as an assistant. Daniel accepted immediately. Over the next 3 months, Daniel stayed late, asked questions, and volunteered for tasks. He learned fast. Mr. Allen noticed. He gave Daniel more responsibility. After the contract ended, he was offered a permanent position as logistics assistant. In less than 2 years, Daniel rose to lead logistics planning. He got a small office, a monthly salary that let him move out of the Face Me, I Face You he was living in. He rented a small apartment and furnished it very nicely. Meanwhile, the 3 Yahoo boys had fallen on hard times. Word spread that they lost money in scams. Their flashy cars seized, their online accounts frozen. They were rumored to be behind in rent. One of them, Tund, came into Allen's office. He needed a job. He asked for an interview. He didn't know Daniel worked there. On interview day, Tund dressed in a clean suit, combed his hair. He sat in the waiting area across from Daniel's new office. Daniel walked past and paused, surprised. Tund looked up, confused. Daniel smiled politely. In the meeting room, Tund met 2 managers. Daniel sat nearby. Tund spoke nervously. He talked about his fake qualifications. Daniel saw through it. After Tund left, Daniel walked into the room. Mr. Allen asked him to give feedback. Daniel gave it respectfully. He seems to talk big, sir. I'm not confident he has the skill set, however he might have the potential to learn, so he can be put in a junior-level position and you observe him for some time. Mr. Allen nodded. He dismissed Tund. As Tund left, Daniel caught his eye. Tund froze. He remembered now. Rainy day, water-drenched cleaner, late to work. He tried to apologize. Daniel nodded and walked on. Tund was given the junior-level position, and Daniel was now his boss. He had to answer to Daniel and call him Sir at all times. The tables had turned, and he now answers to Daniel. Daniel's life continued well. A year later, Allen Logistics grew. Daniel led a team, managed a route planning software, met clients, and traveled the world. He lived modestly but well. He kept his old phone. He still visited the petrol station often to fill his car. He didn't forget how he began. He didn't forget the water splash. Then one afternoon he saw a press release. Allen Logistics had won a major state contract. The company grew fast. The other Yahoo boys, Tund's former friends, tried to start another business, this time legal. They applied for a vendor role with Allen. But Daniel, who flagged their names, told Mr. Allen, they aren't ready. They still talk big, and don't treat people right. Not our kind of people. Mr. Allen trusted him. The contract went elsewhere. They emailed and begged. Daniel replied simply, respect is not a reward for performance. Earn it first. Every now and then Daniel saw the 3 men on the road. They looked humble, trying to make things right. Daniel gave them a nod. That was enough. Daniel's life went on moderately. No flashy cars. No red carpets. Just work, respect, sleep, repeat. He never used violence, insults, or revenge. Rain and water no longer stopped him. He kept walking.